Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling more tired than when you went to bed? Maybe your legs feel weaker, or your arms take more effort to lift. It's a subtle shift, but one that becomes undeniable over time, especially after the age of 80. In today's video, we will dive into 5 harsh realities of life after 80 that every senior should understand. These are not just inconveniences. They are truths that impact how we live, feel, and interact with the world around us. From the quiet shrinking of your social world to the unpredictable nature of your body, these changes can leave you feeling lost, frustrated, and unsure of how to navigate this new chapter of life. But here's the thing, acknowledging these realities is not a sign of weakness. It's a chance to gain strength. As your body and life shift, there are still ways to find peace, adapt, and thrive. By staying emotionally connected to your past and to those few deep relationships that matter, you can combat the loneliness that often creeps in after 80. Small health issues may snowball into bigger concerns, but with awareness, you can take control and adjust accordingly. Your body may be less reliable, but by understanding these shifts, you can make the changes needed to feel empowered. This video isn't just about facing reality. It's about finding strength, wisdom, and grace in the face of these challenges. Stick with me till the end to learn how to embrace these changes, stay resilient, and make the most of every single day. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The shrinking world of social connection. After the age of 80, one of the most quietly painful realities that unfolds is the noticeable shrinking of your social world. It doesn't hit you all at once, but over time, you begin to feel it. The phone rings less often, the visits from friends and family become more spaced out, and those once familiar interactions that were once so easy and abundant begin to feel more distant, more fragmented. The natural flow of friendships and relationships you once took for granted now seems like a distant memory. It's not that people don't care, it's just that life, as it always does, shifts, and not always in the way we want it to. Friends, once the cornerstone of your social life, move away, face serious health struggles, or sadly, pass on. Family members get caught up in their own busy lives, their schedules packed with their responsibilities and worries. It's easy to dismiss at first, but one day you realize that you're spending more time in quiet reflection than in meaningful conversation. And that can sting more than you expect. This isn't about bitterness or resentment. It's simply about honesty. The truth is, after 80, no one openly discusses the ache of seeing fewer and fewer invitations, the longer stretches of silence between visits. You may not need constant companionship, but that feeling of emptiness, that sense of isolation, creeps in slowly and settles in your heart more than you'd like to admit. As the days pass, you may find yourself reflecting more. Not just with longing for days gone by, but as a way to hold on to the memories of the loved ones who've drifted away or who may no longer be around. The laughter you once shared, the small, everyday moments that used to seem so trivial, these now seem like precious treasures you can't bear to forget. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling that way. It's not a sign of weakness, nor is it loneliness in the way we traditionally think about it. It's simply an adjustment, a quiet one, that almost everyone goes through, yet so few are ever truly prepared for. And in this phase of life, it becomes more important than ever to stay emotionally connected. To yourself, to your story, and to at least 1 or 2 people who truly understand you. Because when the noise of the crowd fades, the meaning and depth found in just a handful of meaningful connections becomes more precious, more invaluable than you could ever have imagined. This is where the real richness of life, the true essence of love and belonging, lives on. Number 2. How small health issues turn into big ones. As we step into our 80s, One harsh reality that many are taken aback by is how even the smallest health issues can snowball into something much more serious. The simple cold that once would have vanished after a couple of days now lingers far longer, leaving you feeling worn out and frustrated. A bruise that would have been a minor inconvenience takes what seems like forever to heal. And what used to be a harmless misstep, something you would have brushed off by lunchtime, can now lead to weeks of painful recovery, endless therapy sessions, or, in some cases, even surgery. It's not just about the body slowing down. It's the realization that the body's ability to bounce back is no longer as dependable. The buffer, the margin for error, shrinks with age. That one missed meal or not staying hydrated enough is no longer just an oversight. It can derail your whole system, leaving you feeling off balance in ways you never anticipated. Yes, you still feel strong, and in many ways, you are, but the resilience that used to operate almost automatically now requires your conscious attention. What once was second nature now demands your focus, your care, and your patience. And the truth is, most people won't talk about it. Your family might brush it off as just another part of getting older, or your doctor might say it's inevitable. But deep down, this is different. You feel the weight of every slow recovery. You see how it takes longer for your energy to return, and you can't ignore the reality that your body no longer responds in the effortless way it once did. It's not just physical, it's emotional, too. There's an underlying frustration that builds as you realize that your body doesn't cooperate the way it used to. For so long, you prided yourself on being active, independent, and capable, and suddenly, that sense of control slips away like a betrayal. It's hard to come to terms with the fact that the body you've relied on so heavily for so many years is no longer the same. But here's where the power lies. Recognizing this change and becoming aware of it is a form of strength in itself. It's not about fighting against the inevitable or proving you're still invincible. It's about permitting yourself to slow down without guilt, to listen to your body and give it the care it desperately needs. Maybe it's more rest. Maybe it's staying hydrated. Or maybe, just maybe, it's about being kinder to yourself and acknowledging that this chapter of life is about embracing who you are now, not who you used to be. Your body might not be as fast, but you're learning to be more patient and more compassionate with both yourself and the process of aging. That, in itself, is its quiet victory. Number 3 is the quiet loss of visibility in social spaces. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One of the most heart-wrenching, yet often unspoken changes that occurs after you turn 80 is the quiet, almost imperceptible shift in how the world begins to overlook you. It's not out of malice, not at all, but rather due to a subtle and insidious cultural shift that few openly acknowledge. One that places youth at the center and leaves those who are older often fading into the background. The truth is, as you grow older, you start to notice it, the way the room doesn't buzz with the same energy when you walk in. Once, you entered a space and felt eyes turn toward you, voices naturally quieted as they waited for you to speak. Now, when you do speak, you sometimes find that others talk over you, not intentionally, but because they assume you finished, that your words no longer matter as much. You repeat yourself more often and wait longer for your voice to be heard, and even within the warmth of your own family, there are moments when you feel invisible in conversations. This isn't merely about being ignored, it's about the deep, gradual erosion of your presence in a world that is moving at an ever-quickening pace, a world that celebrates youth above all else, leaving the wisdom of age to fall to the side. And so few are prepared for this kind of loneliness, for the way it makes you feel as though your very essence has become almost irrelevant. It's as if your age walks into the room before you do, and with it, a certain assumption that what you have to say has somehow lost its value. But here's the painful truth. Your stories, your memories, your life experiences, they carry more weight now than they ever have. You've lived through things that younger generations haven't yet faced. You've loved, you've lost, you've grown. And yet, there are still those moments when you feel like the world is telling you that your presence is no longer worth acknowledging. The emotional toll of this can be profound. Feelings of sadness, frustration, and even a quiet kind of grief that you weren't prepared for. But as hard as it is, there's a certain strength that comes from recognizing this for what it truly is. Not a reflection of your worth, but a symptom of a culture that's learned to forget how to listen to its elders. You are not invisible. The world may not always see you right away, but your voice still carries profound meaning. And here's where the quiet power lies. The people who choose to see you, the ones who make the time to truly listen to your stories, who take a moment to hear your thoughts, your laughter, your reflections, they are the ones that matter. They recognize the value in your experiences, and that's what you need to hold on to. They're listening, even if it takes them a little longer to truly understand. So, don't step back. Don't let the silence define you. Keep sharing what you've witnessed, what you've overcome, and the lessons you've learned. You may not always be the loudest voice in the room, but remember, you are the most experienced. And that, my friend, carries more weight and meaning than most could ever truly realize. Number 4 is the narrowing of your daily life. One of the most challenging aspects of aging, especially after turning 80, isn't just the inevitable changes within our bodies. It's the profound, often heartbreaking transformation of the life we once knew. A life filled with routines, familiar faces, and cherished places. These elements don't vanish all at once, but rather, they slowly begin to fade, like a photograph exposed to the sun for too long, gradually losing its clarity. The world you've spent years creating, your world, begins to shrink, and it's hard to deny that it carries a weight that feels heavier each day. It doesn't happen overnight, but little by little, you may notice yourself staying home more. It's not that you've lost interest in life or the people around you, but the energy to go out, to engage, just isn't what it used to be. Things that once felt effortless, taking a walk to the park, visiting with friends, now feel more exhausting, more distant. You may find that the friends who used to visit frequently move away, become ill, or even pass on. Neighbors you once waved to as they walked by are now just faces in the distance. Favorite spots you used to frequent close down, and it's not just the places that change, it's you. Your world, bit by bit, quietly shrinks around you. At first, the silence, the absence, might not seem so loud. It feels almost like a distant hum, the kind of thing you might notice but can ignore. But over time, the quiet grows heavier, and it settles in your bones. It's not just the loss of the people or the places. It's the emotional toll of seeing everything you've known begin to unravel. And even for those of us who pride ourselves on being independent, there's an unsettling discomfort in watching the familiar drift away. It's as if the threads that once held everything together begin to fray, leaving us to wonder where the strength to carry on will come from next. But here's where I believe we find a quiet yet powerful kind of strength, in acknowledging this loss, in naming it for what it is. It's grief. But grief is not weakness. It's a testament to how deeply we've lived and loved. It's the quiet sorrow that comes from watching pieces of our past slip away, not because we've stopped trying, but because we cared enough to build those moments in the first place. What also remains undeniably true is that, even as one world closes, another can still open. It may not be the world of grand travels or new, exotic adventures, but there is still room for growth. It might come from forging deeper connections, having more meaningful conversations with those around you, and perhaps even bonding with someone younger who brings a fresh perspective. Or maybe it's simply sharing memories in ways you never have before, reflecting on the rich, full life you've already lived. Life doesn't need to be vast to be meaningful. Sometimes, the richness comes from the smaller things, the quiet moments, the connections, the shared laughs and stories. So yes, make that call, even if it's long distance. Join that virtual group, even if it feels a little strange at first. Reach out, because even in a world that seems smaller, there's still so much to be shared, so much to discover. And that, in itself, can make all the difference. Number 5 is the unpredictability of your own body. After the age of 80, your body begins to send out mixed signals, often catching you off guard at the most inconvenient times. One day, you wake up feeling completely clear-minded, with a steady balance and the strength to take on anything that comes your way. You feel like you could conquer the world. But then, the very next day, you find yourself feeling sluggish, foggy, and unsure of what's going on. Your knees feel stiff, and that cup of coffee that used to feel so easy to hold now slips through your fingers as if your hands aren't quite the same. The worst part of it all? The betrayal. You've lived in this body for decades, trusted it, depended on it, and it's always been your companion through thick and thin. Yet, now, out of nowhere, it's changing the rules without warning, without reason. There's no consistency, no predictability. It's as if the body you once knew is turning against you, making you feel like an outsider in your own skin. You might plan a leisurely walk one morning, only to be hit with an overwhelming wave of fatigue that you didn't see coming. You might bend over to tie your shoes, only to realize how much longer it takes to rise to your feet than it used to. Every movement feels unfamiliar, and it's terrifying. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Maybe it's a sudden dizziness, or the strange stiffness that creeps into your joints, or the fleeting tingling that appears and vanishes as quickly as it arrived. It's like a constant reminder that things aren't what they used to be, and you don't have control over it anymore. And, perhaps the most frustrating part, the part no one really talks about, is how all this inconsistency begins to chip away at more than just your physical abilities. It starts to erode your confidence, too. You find yourself hesitating before leaving the house, not because you can't, but because you're no longer sure what your body might do next. It's like a quiet, nagging voice that keeps you uncertain in situations where you used to feel strong and capable. That doubt, it can make you feel small, vulnerable, and anxious. But let me tell you this, that feeling is absolutely understandable. It's okay to feel frustrated, even scared. It's a big adjustment, and it's normal to mourn the body that once carried you with such ease. But here's the comforting truth. While your body might not be as reliable as it once was, how you respond to it, how you choose to react to these changes, can still be your anchor. Adaptability becomes your strength. Flexibility is the new foundation. And that's something no one can take away from you. You begin to embrace a new way of moving through the world, learning to plan ahead, pace yourself, and treat yourself with the patience and kindness you truly deserve. You start listening to your body. Really listening, paying attention to when it needs rest, when it needs a good stretch, and when it's time to consult with your doctor, not only when something's wrong but to get the guidance you need to stay one step ahead. It's about taking control in ways that matter. It's about knowledge. Having the wisdom to understand your body's signals and using that knowledge to give you back a sense of power. Even when you can't control everything, the awareness of what's going on allows you to reclaim a sense of autonomy. You're not defeated by the changes. You're evolving alongside them. As we wrap up, let's reflect. These 5 harsh realities that often emerge after the age of 80 are eye-opening, aren't they? Each one, in its own way, brings a shift that can change how we experience the world. From the gradual thinning of your close relationships to the unexpected physical struggles that catch you off guard, these realities hit us hard. But here's the key. Acknowledging them isn't about surrendering to decline. It's about meeting life head-on, embracing these shifts, and using them as opportunities to live more fully, more wisely, and more freely. So, I ask you, what stood out to you the most? Have you noticed any of these 5 realities in your own life, or in the lives of those around you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us below. Let's continue this conversation and support one another on this journey. As we come to the end of this video, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. We've explored 5 harsh realities that come with age, unexpected changes in our bodies, shifting relationships, and the challenges that can feel like betrayals. But we've also learned that these changes aren't something to fear or resist. Instead, they're opportunities to adapt, grow, and embrace life more fully. So, what stood out to you the most? Is there one thing you've learned that resonated with you? Something you feel ready to put into practice in your own life? We'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to comment below and share one lesson you're taking away from today's video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that inspires and informs. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you in the comments below.